I do a lot of estate planning consultations talking to clients about wills and about revocable living trusts. Their clients aren't sure if they should do a will, if they should do a trust, what the difference is, which one is right for them. They heard this from a friend, they heard that from a friend, they saw this online, and they're not sure. I'm Darcel Lobo, an estate planning attorney for the past 17 years now, and I'm going to help you decide if a revocable living trust is right for you. Let's talk about the first of 3 reasons why you might want a revocable living trust, but make sure you stick around for the third reason because that one is all about the money. So reason number 1 is probate. Probate is a court process that oversees the administration of your estate if you have a will or if you don't have any estate plan. The state of Washington has a plan for you if you don't have one. With the revocable living trust, it allows you to avoid probate. So your assets are put into the trust during your lifetime. You manage your assets in the trust just as you have been in your individual name. But upon your passing, you've named someone in your trust to be your successor trustee to liquidate your assets, pay your debts, and make distributions to your heirs according to the terms of your trust. That is the biggest difference, is whether or not your estate will go through probate at your passing. The end result will be the same. Whatever you want to do in a will, we can do in a trust. The end result's the same. It's just how are we going to get there? What vehicle are you going to choose for those distributions to happen? Will it go through probate with a will, or will it not go through probate? Will it avoid probate with your trust? Reason number 2, which kind of ties into reason number 1, but is if you have real estate outside of Washington state. If you do have real estate outside of Washington state, or you think you may acquire real estate outside of Washington state in your future, you are looking at multiple probates. So a lot of my clients have a second home in Arizona, New Mexico, California, and Hawaii are common also. And so if they don't have a trust, there's going to be a probate in each state where they own real estate. So that's a big reason as to why clients who have out-of-state properties or who have plans in the future to acquire out-of-state properties will want the trust, because they don't want there to be multiple probates for their estate after they've passed. Okay, I said we were doing 3 reasons, but we're going to do 4, and this one actually ties into reason number 1 about probate, but it's privacy. And that's a big one, so we're going to make it its own. That's going to be our number 3 today, is privacy. A lot of my clients do not want their final affairs available online for anyone to see. And that is what happens with a will. The will gets filed upon your passing, probate gets opened, it becomes public record. Anyone could search online in that court docket and find out what your assets were, what your debts were, and how much your heirs received. For some clients, it is very important that that does not happen. They don't want that to be available for anyone to see. So in that instance, the trust makes more sense because it gives them that privacy that they're looking for, because that will not be public record. There will not be a probate. So there is no record of how much the assets were, how much your debts were, and how much all of your heirs received. Okay, so let's get to the last reason, and that's all about money. The cost differences between a will versus a revocable living trust. Now, a will is going to be less expensive for you to set up than the revocable living trust. However, even though the revocable living trust costs more, you don't have to pay for probate. If you have the will option, there will be a cost for probate in the future upon your passing. When you factor in the cost of the will plus the cost of probate, that cost is going to exceed the cost of the revocable living trust. However, for a lot of clients, and I understand this, we're looking at the initial out-of-pocket investment, right? And so the will makes more sense for them because in that moment, that's a more feasible option for them. And they tell me, well, at probate, I won't be here, so I don't care. My estate can just pay for the probate at that point in time. And for some clients, besides the other reasons we went over, even though the trust costs more money out of pocket to set up, they're going to avoid the probate costs down the road for their estate in the future, for their families or loved ones to go through. And so they pick the trust because they want to save that future cost of probate down the road. Now, with the revocable living trust, in order for it to work, it's important that you make sure you keep it funded. So we help you with that. When we set up your trust, we put your real estate into it, we transfer your business interests into it, we put your personal property into it, we give you instructions for how to update bank accounts, investments, things like that. But once we've completed your trust and have signed everything, if you buy another home 5 years from now, you have to make sure that you get that future asset, that future house, into the trust as well. And I've also done a video talking about funding your trust. I'm going to link it here for you. So if you are looking at doing a revocable living trust, if you want to learn about how to fund it, that's where you need to go next. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.